real noisy over here. Let me make sure we're rolling. What is up? This is video number 3, part 3 of my easy ledge tricks. This is gonna be for a little more intermediate riding, but I've started running out of easy tricks that aren't like real dumb and specific. So these tricks are some of my more favorite tricks on this box, but they're a little bit harder. So the first trick is the ice. If you know how to manual, you can ice. You just want to make sure the ledge is real buttered. You want to make sure you have some nice pegs on. I prefer plastic pegs. They slide a lot easier. But for these, just like the hop-on manual that I did in part 2, you're going to hop up into that ice. You want to be a little higher than your balance point so you can fall into your balance point. And then you balance just like you would on a manual. You just pull back, lean, you move your hips forward and back in order to drop the front end or raise the front end. So you just hop on. I try to do these as straight as possible, almost coming over and then on instead of to the side, but you can do either. So you hop on, put that peg down, balance, and then slide off. And to get off the end, just like popping off of a curb, you just want to make sure at the very end you get a nice little pop, that way you don't accidentally drop the front end, because that's not a fun time. Let's see, trick number 2. So next trick is a tooth. It's the exact opposite of the ice. And you can work this one like from the end of it to the beginning. Same with the ice. You don't have to like do the entire thing. But so this one, you're gonna hop with just your front end. You don't want the back end to follow. You just want the front end to hop over. So you kind of like practice jumping and moving the front end over to get your tooth in there. And then you kind of get out. So you hop, tooth, pull back. You want to keep the back end away from the ledge. Real easy trick, and you can work your way to the end. The further back you do it, the further you want your back end to be over. That way you don't swing into it. Eventually your momentum is going to pull you towards the ledge. So the further away your back end is, the longer you'll be able to ride it for. And then you just balance that like a nose manual. If you don't know how to nose manual, same. So you just kind of go fast and it helps you balance. Next trick is 180 on, cab off is another fun one on this, especially with one that's this short. So just like your 180 on flat, but you want to bunny hop a little bit higher. With this, you have to be a little more consistent, a little more precise with your landing. So you kind of ride up to it right next to it. Instead of like on an angle, you ride up next to it, pull to the side that you're jumping to, do your 180, land, and then the rest of it is easy. So there's a few ways to get off. You can nollie off of it. You can half cab off of it. You want to know how to half cab though before you do this trick, because you're not going to want to like fakie off of it. So yeah, just like make sure you're precise. You want to land your front tire first. You want to aim your front tire and then stop your back tire before it rotates further than your front. The next trick's going to be a 180 feeble. This only works well if you spin the right way and grind the right way. So I spin left and grind on the right. So you want to either do that or spin right and grind on the left. So you're going to spin kind of over the ledge like you would do that 180 on. And instead of landing like this, you bring your back wheel a little bit shorter and you let it smack the end, peg locks in, and then for me, I just hop out. I'm not gonna teach the cab version because it's a little bit harder. But for this trick, you wanna keep your front tire as close to the edge as possible, because if you go like this, your back peg is not gonna have much room to get on there. So you wanna land with your front tire right on the edge so that the back peg has room. Just hop off fakie right away. Next trick is going to be a tire press. So this is a rear tire press. So what you do is you almost loop out into it. You're gonna ride up to it on the end. And this is easier on a lower ledge because you don't have to lift the front end up as high. But you're gonna like loop out into it. It's gonna lock your back wheel in. Then from here you can like push forward to get your pop and then pull back, jump, land fakie, and ride away. This is a real easy trick. It is kind of scary. You wanna make sure that you do it on a ledge that's tall enough so your back wheel's not gonna just hit it and fly up. So you wanna make sure that it's tall enough to lock into, but you also wanna make sure you're locking into it at a good time. It is easier if you try to like manual into it as opposed to just looping out and pulling into it, because then you can practice just like slamming your back wheel into it and dropping down. And that way you're not dying when you're first learning it. Anyways, so that's 5 more intermediate probably tricks on a ledge. Hopefully that gives you some inspiration or shows you some tricks that maybe you didn't think about, or maybe you got some new ideas now, or I gave you some tips that might help you learn some of these. If you like this video or videos like this, click that like button. If you want to see any other trick tip tutorials, stuff like that, comment that below, or any other suggestions in general. If you enjoy this content and want to support the channel, click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time.